Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to Edwards Air Force Base for the 412th Test Wing's Change of Command ceremony. I'm Chaplain Jason Botts, and I am honored to serve as your narrator for today's ceremony. Today's ceremony is considered an outdoor ceremony. All military personnel will remain covered and are reminded to render salutes during ruffles and flourishes and the singing of our national anthem. We invite our civilian guests to participate by standing during the appropriate honors and placing your hand over your heart during the national anthem. During today's ceremony, Major General Christopher Piazzano will preside over the 412th Test Wing Change of Command, at which Brigadier General E. John Teichert will relinquish command of the 412th Test Wing to Colonel Matthew W. Higer. Before we start today's activities, we would like to take this opportunity to recognize the distinguished and special guest in attendance. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Our presiding official's wife, Jennifer, Colonel Higer's wife, Leslie, their son, Zev, and daughter, Alex, his mother, Mrs. Beth Hemmer, and his father, Mr. Nathan Higer, and his wife, Kay. We also welcome Brigadier General Teichert's wife, Dr. Melanie Teichert, their son Noah, and daughters Tiffany and Summer. Also in attendance today from the office of the U.S. Congressman Kevin McCarthy, Field Representative Mr. Clayton Fowler. From the office of Senator Shannon Grove, Field Representative Mr. Christopher Quinones. From the office of California Assemblyman Tom Lackey, Field Representative Mr. Brandon Roquet. From the office of Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger, 5th District Senior Field Deputy Miss Donna Termier, Assistant Field Deputy Mr. Charles Bostwick, and Special Assistant for Military and Veterans Affairs Mr. Robert Alvarez. Mayor of Palmdale, the Honorable Steve Hofbauer. Mayor of California City, the Honorable Charles McGuire. From the 412th Test Wing, representing the 412th Test Wing in the ceremony today as Commander of Troops is our Vice Commander, Colonel Kirk Reagan, and then the audience, his wife, Melanie. Mr. Daniel Osborne, Technical Director, and his wife, Kathy. Dr. David Smith, Installation Support Director, and his wife, Denise. Colonel Christopher Manning, Mobilization Assistant to the Commander. And representing the 412th Test Wing in the ceremony today as the guide-on-bearer is our Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Ian Eishen. In the audience is his wife, Ariel, and son, Caden. From the Air Force Test Center, Dr. Eileen Bjorkman, Executive Director. Mrs. Amy Spinelli, wife of Colonel Christopher Spinelli, Vice Commander, and their children, Luke, Simon, and Lee. Dr. Kathleen Tome Diorio, Director of Staff. From Arnold Engineering and Development Complex, Colonel Charles Kane, Commander, 704 Test Group. From NASA Armstrong Flight Research Center, Mr. David McBride, Center Director. Mr. Sean McMorrow, Associate Center Director. Mr. Glenn Graham, Director, Safety and Mission Assurance. We are grateful that many other current and former senior leaders, state and community leaders, colleagues, friends, and co-workers have come to join us today. We welcome you all. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a round of applause for all of our distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, and ruffles and flourishes. Remain standing for the presentation of the colors, the singing of our national anthem by Miss Alice Odenthal, and the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Port! Halt! Colors! Holster! Halt!
And now for the invocation. Father, you're the one who's always near us. You told us a long time ago that our world would be a messy place, to expect wars and trouble, because there would always be some people hell-bent on destroying anything good. In order to shield our exceptional nation, you called out less than 1% of our population to support, defend, and bear true faith and allegiance to our extraordinary Constitution. Selfless volunteers, like the women and men here at the renowned Edwards Air Force Base, the center of the aerospace testing universe, whose steadfast commitment to the test mission ensures America and our friends continue to own the high ground in the infinite game of global security. And so our warfighters, our national treasure, return home safely. Thank you for my distinguished tester teammates and for our leaders who get that their position is an honor entrusted for the benefit of others. Thanks for Brigadier General Teichert, his teammate Melanie, and their offspring, Summer, Tiffany, and Noah. Illuminate Dragon's waypoints as he relinquishes command this morning to serve the nation's urgent needs in Iraq. Thanks for Colonel Higer, his Spartan spouse Leslie, and their wingmen Zev and Alex. Give Sieg wisdom as he straps into the harness of the mighty 412th Test Wing. Finally, we lift up our young men and women who are standing watch in the hinterlands this very moment, so our children and our grandchildren will never see an enemy campfire on our turf. I ask you to protect them on all sides, raise them up rested, tall and steady, fearless before the adversary. I commit this change of command to you now. You're the one who holds all power and might in the palm of your hand. Amen. Thank you, Blue Eagles and Miss Odenthal. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my great pleasure to introduce the Commander, Air Force Test Center, Major General Christopher Azzano. Sir, the hangar is yours.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see all of you here today in one of the best venues in the Air Force, built on this hallowed landscape of so many aviation firsts, and that legacy lives on with all of you. The 412 Test Wing, stewards of America's pioneering spirit, following in the footsteps of Glenn Edwards and Fitz Fulton, Chuck Yeager, Pete Knight, and many other test legends. On any given day, those accustomed to freedom might ask why we need the 412 Test Wing. The answer is simple. Terrorism, Iran, North Korea, Russia, and how about China? China is 70 years into a self-proclaimed war with the United States. They violate international law and human rights. They exert tremendous economic influence at the expense of intellectual property. They're pushing their invasive 5G cell network as the global standard. More importantly, they don't value the same things that we do: self-determination, life, and liberty. Although he lived more than 2,000 years ago, Chinese strategist Sun Tzu would be proud of what his country is doing today. Among his insights, Sun Tzu believed a country's security depends on the quality of its commanders and its arsenal. And today, despite our philosophical differences with China, I'm inclined to agree with Sun Tzu, because today we're celebrating the 412th Test Wing and all that you do to preserve America's freedom and to build its arsenal, enabled by talented leaders who have met their nation's challenge to command. So I'm honored to welcome all of you, our distinguished guests, elected officials, community partners, commanders, directors, and chiefs, friends and family of the Teicherts and Higers, and of course the men and women of the 412th Test Wing. Thank you for braving the high desert winter to be here today. And Colonel Reagan, if you would, please put the formation at ease. Thank you. Let's start by recognizing everyone who made today's event possible. The organizers led by Becca Schweitzer and Captain Morgan, of course Chaplain Botts for narrating and for the close prayer support, Mina Day and the protocol team, the Honor Guard, the Test Wing formation, and Miss Odenthal for a wonderful rendition of our national anthem. Please help me thank this team for a first-class event. So today we're saying farewell to the Teicherts, Dragon, Melanie, Summer, Tiffany, and Noah. General Teichert was recently selected as the next defense attaché to Iraq, where he will be the senior military advisor to the U.S. ambassador. He will oversee security cooperation and assistance in the region, and there is no better leader to help protect U.S. interests in this volatile time. As the Teicherts depart, we welcome Brigadier General Select Matt Sieg Higer, Leslie, Alex, and Zev, fresh out of another successful tour, and once again, they're accepting the call to lead, joining the 412th here at the center of the aerospace testing universe. Command of an American military unit is one of the greatest privileges our nation can bestow, and a tremendous responsibility. It demands integrity, leadership, sacrifice, putting the needs of your mission and your people above your own. By these standards, General Teichert has distinguished himself as one of the elite leaders in our Air Force. His wing owns the skies over the Mojave Desert. They execute a challenging test mission with global impact, and they support this installation while developing leaders and stewards of the profession of arms. Those who know Dragon can tell you why he's here. A skilled aviator and warrior, he flew combat missions over Iraq, Yugoslavia, and Washington, D.C. after 9/11. He commanded the 411th Flight Test Squadron, the 53rd Test Management Group at Eglin, the 11th Wing at Joint Base Andrews, but the 412th has been his crowning achievement. Here, Dragon commanded the second largest installation in the Air Force with a landmass the size of Washington, D.C., $6 billion in infrastructure, over 13,000 people, including mission partners like AFRL, NASA, and Afotech. During General Teichert's command, the 420th Flight Test Squadron was reactivated to support B-21 development. America's next-gen bomber, known as the Raider, will penetrate future air defenses and hold any global target at risk. Dragon also helped prepare America for future war in space. He secured funding to develop a new test pilot school curriculum to ensure the U.S. Space Force can take the fight to the enemy. And if you hadn't heard, the 412 Test Wing earned the coveted Collier Trophy in 2019 for the fielding of the automatic ground collision avoidance system on the F-35. A persistent team led by our own 461st Flight Test Squadron and AFRL brought auto GCAS to the F-35 5 years ahead of schedule. This system has already saved 9 F-16 airmen and is now protecting our 5th-gen warriors across the fleet. Also under Dragon's watch, the 412th prepared to usher in the next generation of weapons, employing hypersonic speeds to overwhelm our adversaries. A tribute to the 412th Airmen, the newest hypersonic technology will be tested on one of our nation's most venerable aircraft, the B-52. But Dragon understands it takes more than machines to protect a nation. He also has a deep and genuine care for people. And he's worked tirelessly to boost the quality of life at Edwards with improvements such as new dining options, an updated car wash, a renovated bowling alley, a new cell tower to improve coverage, and he brought our air show back to the Antelope Valley and back to Edwards Air Force Base. Many of these improvements came from Dragon's Right Ideas initiative. He's empowered people to create change. He sponsored the Hustle Squad, a TEDx event, an Air Force Spark Tank. I could talk all day about Dragon, literally, but he rightly reminds us that the credit for your success goes to all of you. He is also quick to highlight the role of another very important wingman, the First Lady of the 412 Test Wing. Dr. Melanie Teichert grew up in the Air Force, wore the uniform, and is now an Air Force spouse. Her dedication to the families of this community has been inspirational. She is active in the Edwards Spouses Club, a trusted member and mentor to the Key Spouse program. She applied her PhD to improve STEM outreach in our schools, led newcomer meetings, organized tours, and hosted numerous family socials featuring cider and s'mores. It sounds good right about now. Serving the community is a Teichert family affair. Summer, Tiffany, and Noah joined their parents for town hall meetings, visits to airmen on duty, and they served meals at the DFAC on the holidays. The Teichert family lives our core value of service before self. Melanie, Summer, Tiffany, and Noah, your impact on this community will be lasting. Jennifer and I know how difficult it is to say goodbye, but we're confident you will have the privilege of leading Air Force families in the future. Thank you for pouring your heart and soul into this tour. You will be missed. Dragon, as you depart for training and then on to Iraq, you go with our complete faith and confidence. Take some time to reflect on the enormous impact the 412th has had under your leadership. One day you will look back and finally remember the people who helped you build our nation's sword and shield. Thanks for taking the 412th to a new level, Dragon. And thank you, Team Teichert. Well, if only we could declare victory and go home. Wouldn't that be great? But the 412th Test Wing will have little rest. As they arm our nation at the speed of relevance, that is what they have always done, today with a new leader, ready to forge a path into an uncertain future. Brigadier General Select Matt, Sieg, Higer, and Leslie join us today with Alex and Zev. The Higers are no strangers to Edwards. They first arrived with TPS Class 03 Alpha, the Centurions. A decorated F-16 combat pilot, Sieg breezed through the program and then returned 14 years later to be the TPS Commandant. In between, he had numerous test assignments, a tour at the F-35 JPO, and attended Army War College. This is the third time I've served directly with Sieg. And I can tell you his true calling is to lead complex teams of talented, technical people in performing the near impossible, which is perfect for the 412 Test Wing. In addition to TPS Commandant, Sieg has been a squadron commander and the 96th Test Wing Vice Commander, clearly standing with an elite cadre of test leaders. And I think you will quickly appreciate his loyalty and the Higer's love of family, a common theme among our 412 commanders. Leslie grew up in the Navy, and after 21 years as an airman herself, retired a few years ago and took on her latest job title, Mom. Jennifer and I can tell you from personal experience, Leslie is a force multiplier, and the 412th is lucky to be getting her as first wingman today. And we are also very pleased and grateful to the Higer family, the extended family, several of whom traveled very far to be here today, and I know you will continue to support Matt and Leslie as they take on this new adventure. Thank you. Leslie, Alex, Zev, welcome back. It's great to have you here. We are thrilled, Jennifer and I are, to have you still in the Air Force Test Center family. You know this community very well already. I'll just say that all your soon-to-be new neighbors can't wait to meet you. Welcome, and thanks for powering through another move. Finally, Sieg, you should know how grateful all of us are that you're charging into this new opportunity. You have an amazing team here, so above all, enjoy the privilege that it is to lead airmen. It will be a marathon, but it's a race we cannot afford to lose. It's an honor to welcome you back, Sieg. Congratulations.
Thank you, General Lozano. Ladies and gentlemen, General Lozano will now present the Legion of Merit Medal to Brigadier General Teichert. Please stand. Citation to accompany the award of the Legion of Merit Medal to Ernest J. Teichert III. Brigadier General Ernest J. Teichert III distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 412 Test Wing, Air Force Test Center, Air Force Materiel Command, Edwards Air Force Base, California, from 18 July 2018 to 5 February 2020. During this period, the exemplary ability, diligence, and devotion to duty of General Teichert resulted in significant contributions to the effectiveness and success of experimental and test operations and evaluations of weapon systems to achieve Department of Defense and international partner nations' strategic objectives, while demonstrating a genuine concern for airmen and their families. He masterfully commanded the Air Force's most diverse test wing and second largest installation, comprised of a $6 billion infrastructure, 30 group-level organizations, the United States Air Force Test Pilot School and wing staff agencies, overseeing 11,000 military, government, civilian, and contractor employees, and managing a $1 billion annual budget. Under General Teichert's direction, the wing molded and shaped war-winning combat capabilities across the developmental spectrum for over 300 programs, employing 210 highly modified test aircraft and small unmanned aerial systems. Under General Teichert's poised leadership and perseverance, the F-35 integrated test team led a benchmark test acceleration effort and delivered the life-saving automatic ground collision avoidance system to the F-35 fleet 5 years early, earning the nation's top aviation award, the Collier Trophy. Furthermore, General Teichert guided the expansion of the KC-46 receiver portfolio with over 160 air refueling tests for 13 aircraft, paving the way for initial operational test and evaluation for the nation's top acquisition priority. Moreover, General Teichert lobbied for the creation of a groundbreaking space test and evaluation course to create space test professionals for the ever-evolving challenges of a contested space domain. Additionally, he orchestrated an immediate response to the catastrophic magnitude 7.1 Ridgecrest earthquake by deploying a team of first responders and civil engineers to provide aid, assess damage, and begin reconstruction for the Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake. Finally, General Teichert instilled a lasting culture of innovation at Edwards Air Force Base that dwarfed the innovation activity of the rest of the United States Air Force. During his tenure, Edwards Air Force Base members submitted 335 innovative ideas, implementing improvements to base quality of life and mission execution. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of General Teichert reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Sir, the hangar is yours.
The center of the aerospace testing universe. You are, we are, this is the center of the aerospace testing universe. The 412 Test Wing, Edwards Air Force Base, and the Aerospace Valley are collectively the center of the aerospace testing universe. I've been told by a few that that expression is excessively bold. Maybe. Only as bold as the thoughts of a hero of mine, General Arnie Bunch, who has reminded us, rightfully so, that Air Force Materiel Command is the most important major command in the United States Air Force to accomplish the goals of the National Defense Strategy. It's only as bold as the thoughts of another hero of mine, Major General Christopher Azzano, who reminds us regularly about our enduring principles, world-class risk management, adaptable test solutions, and a relentless focus on the warfighter. It is bold because our nation needs us to mold and shape America's aerospace arsenal. It is bold because our nation's leaders need us here to ensure a focus relentlessly on the warfighter and relentless impact on our national security. It's bold because of the amazing legacy that we step into here on this hallowed ground, but as we continue to make history today. Thank you so much for joining us here at the 412 Test Wing Change of Command, here at the center of the aerospace testing universe. To begin, I want to thank my Lord and Savior for every single blessing in my life. I want to thank my amazing family, Team Teichert, Melanie, Summer, Tiffany, and Noah, for your passion to serve this great community and this great country alongside of me. I love you, and I'm extremely proud of you. And Noah, thank you for sharing your 12th birthday with us today. General Azzano and Jennifer, thank you so much for your friendship, for your leadership. What a joy it is to serve for the warfighter alongside of a true commander's commander. Thank you so much to the many guests that are here today, to our mission partners, to our community partners that collaborate and team and support us at every possible turn. To my pastor, Pastor Chappell, to our friends from Lancaster Baptist Church, to friends from a variety of phases of our lives, thank you so much for blessing us with your presence today. To the team that put on this absolutely outstanding ceremony, to names like Penny, Sis, Siren, and Lat, to my friend Chaplain Botts, to Alyssa Odenthal, to our Blue Eagles Honor Guard, to the maintenance group for letting us use this incredible backdrop for this ceremony. thank you for everything that you have done to make today special. To the wing leadership of the 412th Test Wing, to my friends, my wingmen, Chief Eishen, to Kirk, to Dano, to Jester, to Archie, to the group commanders and group level leadership and squadron level leadership here, thank you for your genuine care and concern for our airmen and for our families. And to my good friend Matt Higer and Leslie, Alex, and Zev, thank you so much for your service to this great nation, and congratulations. This wing is in the best of hands with a leader like my test pilot school classmate and fellow Centurion, Colonel Matt Higer. And I look forward to seeing this organization thrive under his leadership. This organization does so much to impact our nation and to truly live up to the needs of our national defense strategy as we serve together here for the warfighter at the center of the aerospace testing universe. Our national defense strategy spells out three primary goals. Goal number one, readiness and lethality. This team, you, test and evaluate our systems to mold and shape them for America's aerospace arsenal. Fighters, bombers, tankers, trainers, mobility aircraft, unmanned aerial systems, emerging technology, revolutionary weapons, lethality and readiness. Goal number two of the National Defense Strategy, building partnerships and allies. In the last year, you have executed tests for 38 foreign partners to build partnerships and allies for those that we trust alongside of us around the globe. And finally, reform and innovation. This team, you, have dwarfed the innovation activity for the rest of the United States Air Force. You have demonstrated the benchmark wing-level organization for innovative activity, lethality and readiness, partners and allies, and reform and innovation. Of course, we have a lot of benefits here in doing so. We have amazing airspace, an amazing airfield, amazing acreage, amazing aircraft. But our true national treasure are our amazing airmen and their families and our mission partners and our community partners. You are a national treasure, and you are the center of the aerospace testing universe.
Thank you, General Teichert. General Teichert will now receive his final salute as commander of the renowned 412th Test Wing. General Zano, Colonel Higer, please join General Teichert at center stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with the 412th Test Wing Change of Command ceremony. Please stand.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force Headquarters, United States Air Force, Washington, D.C., Special Order Number Alpha November 047451, dated 28 January 2020. Under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-604, by order of Major General Christopher Piazzano, Commander, Air Force Test Center, Brigadier General Ernest J. Teichert III relinquishes command, and Colonel Matthew W. Higer assumes command as Commander, 412 Test Wing, effective 5 February 2020.
Sir, I relinquish command.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Colonel Higer will now receive his first salute as commander of the renowned 412 Test Wing.
For the warfighter!
By tradition, the 412 Test Wing flagship bears the name of the 412 Test Wing commander. Please direct your attention to the one-of-a-kind F-16 Vista parked to your left, where Master Sergeant Vicente La Luz will now reveal the name of the new Test Wing commander. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander, 412 Test Wing, Colonel Matthew W. Higer.
It's great to be back. Who knew a short 18 months ago I'd be back in a short turn? It certainly wasn't me. So let me start by thanking a few folks. Distinguished guests, commanders, directors, chiefs, shirts, friends, my extended test tribe, and TPS families. Thank you all for being here today. I look forward to participating in partnership with you together for the next few years. Thank you all for your support to me personally, but I also thank you for the support you provide to the outstanding Americans that serve their nation from, and everybody say it with me, Teichert to. Because I can't say that many words that fast because I don't have the 2 degrees that General Teichert does. So Teichert is T-C-O-T-A-U. I tried the acronym and I couldn't make it say anything better, but it is, and no doubt, bold, and it's the aerospace, the center of the aerospace testing universe. See, I can't even say it on stage, right? Teichert, we're gonna work on it. Cujo, thanks for letting me borrow your jet. I promise to give it back to you, or at least get your name on it as soon as I get my death claw right. How's that? All right. Vista is a stunning piece of flying art, and if you haven't had a chance to look at that bird, please do on your way out today. She's a beautiful example of innovation as well, and has been for more than 2 decades. Before innovation was a popular term, Vista was doing crazy and exciting things, and I think it's still a beacon of how we can work together in the future. Honor Guard, you make me proud, very proud to be an American. Every time I see you post and parade our national colors so flawlessly. Ma'am, thank you for singing the national anthem. It's good to work with you again and the entire team of community leaders. Mina, the entire team that put this on, thank you for making the ceremony reality. These don't just happen. And before we give them another round of applause, I want to add 2 more call-outs to the maintenance group for letting us use the place, and the combined maintenance group and CE group for heating the place. So everybody, please, round of applause. Thank you. JB, it's great to share the pulpit with you. The podium with you again. I always appreciate your JTAC-like calls for close prayer support, brother. And I might know a guy that wants you to not get an assignment this summer. Okay, we'll work on that. There are a few more people I want to thank that are with us today. I want to thank them personally and publicly, and they're in priority order. First, Leslie. The love, advice, candor, and counsel you've given and continue to provide me is my personal and professional bedrock. Seeing the Air Force through your eyes for the last 23 years makes me a better officer. It makes me a better airman. And for those of you that don't know our story, had it not been for the Air Force, we would have never met. Our paths would have never crossed. You continue to be my professional, you continue to fill my professional experience bucket with powerful blue before silver moments. And she made me promise to not tell any of those stories to you here this morning, but if you want to ask later, I'll be happy to rattle off a few. You, sweetheart, are awesome. I absolutely would not be here today without you. I'm eternally grateful you are my closest teammate, and I love you. Alex, no matter how much you grow and insist, and this is the quote, everybody, Daddy, I'm not a kid anymore, you'll always be my favorite little girl in the whole world. You should be very proud of what you have and what you will continue to contribute to our family team and to our nation. You're amazing. You know who's next, right? Yeah, he does. Zev, it is nothing short of inspirational to me what I observe you do every day. Your skills and your understanding of the world are impressive. But most admirable about you is your genuine kindness and care for people. You routinely show that on a daily basis, and I am so very proud of you. Good job, dude. Mom, I'm blessed to have you here today. And I'm very thankful that the obstacles that prevented you from attending the last time I was at a change of command ceremony here in 2017 are history. I think everybody here can agree that you won the award for the furthest distance traveled to make it to this ceremony. So if anybody traveled further than Nebraska to be here this morning, raise your hand. Yeah, Mom, you get that trophy from the event today. Thank you very much for being here. Dad and Kay, the uncaveated support to all 7 of us kids, including 4 military veterans and 3 educators, in your blended family continues to be a source of inspiration. Thank you, and I'm so grateful you're here. Brigadier General Teichert, Brother Centurion, Sir Dragon. I'm not sure either one of us could have imagined in 40 weeks that we spent together in 2003 that we'd be here 17 years hence. 17 years and 5 kids, I'm reminded, hence. Who knew that we'd built such a relationship and friendship then in the halls at Test Pilot School that we would endure and change command on such a stage 2 decades later? I am literally psyched to follow in your footsteps as this 412 Test Wing commander. I'm probably going to dial back the dragon this and dragon that just a little bit. But I'm excited, and your excitement for change and innovation will live on in my command. Anybody that's worked with me recently knows that I am not afraid of change. I am not afraid of new and innovative thoughts. And I'm not afraid of doing something right. I am going to keep Eddie the Flight Test Orange Innovation Dragon, however. So we'll keep that moving on. Brother, be safe at your next assignment. Please no helo skid rides off of embassy rooftops. I'm really confident I'm not going to come visit you at your next assignment. But you are always welcome back at Edwards, located in, all right, everybody, second time, Tikatatu, as often as you can make it back. General Lozano, thank you, sir. And please pass on my gratitude to General Bunch as well for your continued confidence in my capability and capacity to perform in these no-fail leadership roles for the nation. Your phone call to me, cold call, by the way, 11 years ago while I was sitting at a desk in Crystal City, was a tipping point in my career. And working directly for you now for the 3rd time is an honor. It is also an honor to be selected to command the wing that has a sacred American mission of teaching test fundamentals like world-class risk management and adaptive test solutions to the next generation of test professionals at the world's premier, yes, Test Professionals School. And I know that the message of service you send today by placing me at this podium and handing me that guidon a couple moments ago to the past, present, and future members of the TPS instructor cadre by selecting one of them, the black border blue patch TPS folks, to command the test wing will be heard loud and clear throughout the community. I am confident it will not be another 19 years before the next former commandant of Test Pilot School commands the 412 Test Wing. Sir, thank you again for trusting me as I trust my subordinate commanders and directors with the noble calling of leading airmen. And speaking of an honor, to the members of the 412 Test Wing, you're going to hear me say it many times over the next few days and weeks and months, but it is truly an honor to be your commander. Our nation has never needed us more. And I am beyond description excited to be your biggest fan and supporter. You are the core that built and accelerates agile and adaptive test solutions. And I need you to know that I don't consider command being the top of an organizational pyramid. For any of you to have seen General Goldfein, our Air Force Chief of Staff, talk about it, he draws a picture of a pyramid and he places himself at the top and then he flips that pyramid. And I think that's the perfect visual paradigm for how I view command as well. I see command as the cornerstone of support at the very base of the organizational structure. Keep your vector, keep your momentum, keep the thrust that you have from your last commander, and let me join you in that righteous ride. Know that I will support you any way I can for the mission as you work for the nation. Lastly, to everyone hearing my voice, I have a challenge for you. You heard about the goals in our national defense strategy, but again, I can't do long phrases and big words like the guy from MIT and Stanford. I think the national defense strategy boils down to these three words at its essence: compete, deter, and win. America's military force, including many deployed members from this installation, are taking the fight to our adversaries and protecting us against all domains literally as I speak. They're a testament to our relentless support of the warfighter, the tools we, team test, develop, sharpen, and provide the warfighter in partnership with joint force providers are vital to not only winning the fight tonight, but also to deterrence of large military conflicts in the future. However, as you heard General Lozano say, our adversaries are not just competing with America and her allies militarily. They've realized that's often a futile cause. However, they're competing in other areas, often gaining an advantage across all instruments of national power. So here is my challenge to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Americans all, compete. Use the inherent competitive advantages found in our Constitution, such as liberty, freedom of religion, freedom of choice, freedom of speech, recognition of basic human rights, respect for all, inclusion, robust and resilient free markets, academic freedom, the relentless thirst to leave things better than you found it, and the rule of law. I challenge you to find an area where your skills and interests align in our national interest and rally the next generation of Americans to do what you have done and what we need them to do to push the frontiers further and compete. Compete for the nation. That is my challenge to you. All of you. And lastly, I want to do a quick couple shout outs. So, the center of the aerospace testing universe. Everybody with me? Teichert. All right? On three, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Dragon wants to hear you say it better than that. Teichert. 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to do another cheer for me, and I want it to be loud enough that it's heard at the embassy in Baghdad. So when he gets there in a few short months, they go, wow, we heard something on on your birthday, young man. Happy birthday. And it sounded like it was coming from Edwards. You ready on 3 for the warfighter? 1, 2, 3. For the warfighter! And for the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Higer. Colonel Higer and Mrs. Higer, the men and women of the 412 Test Wing welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us in singing the Air Force song, followed by the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. You are now invited to congratulate Colonel Higer and Mrs. Higer in the receiving line at your left, followed by a reception at the left side of the hangar. Colonel Higer is really excited to take command and would love to receive high fives and fist bumps instead of the traditional handshake. We ask that you please remain in place until our distinguished visitors in the first 3 rows have departed and the commander of troops has dismissed the formation. Thank you for attending and have a great Air Force Day.